daytime cruise, getting some miles put on the bus out in the woods. Doing the woods trip. Get some highway miles on it. Seems like about 60. I need to put a tack in it and see how hard the motor's turning. But need to get a 5-rib tranny, and it'll be a cruiser. I've installed those in a couple of buses for customers, and they work out real well. Gives you a lot more down the road speed. I think this thing would pull anything down the road though with this gearbox. It's great for around town and little back roads like this. I got the carburetor sorted out a little bit. I got the brake leak stopped. And I just need to find all the squeaks and rattles now. Which there's about 1 million of them in a bus, so most of them are the jealousy windows. This bus actually had vent windows in it. It's a deluxe, but the windows were bad. The vent windows were all rusted up, so I decided just to go with some of these. Gaten gave me a couple of them to use, and that's what's in here now. Train track. This is the old main highway here. There's DeLeon Springs State Park. Duke Energy. Yeah, the whole bus has got a pretty good window to shoot video out of there. That's one good thing about it. She's set up there, looking at the wipers. Seems to run pretty good. Doesn't have a lot of power. It's a single port 1600 with one carburetor, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. It is balanced, so it is pretty smooth. But I'd like to put a set of K-Drons on there. If I put the K-Drons on this, that means I have to put 48 IDAs on the 1600 in the blue car, so yeah. I don't know if I want to do that with Hans driving it. There's 60. It'll go past it, you know. It seems to like 60. Speed limit on this road is 45, so we'll slow down a little bit. Just breaking it in, varying the speed a little bit. Hoping I got gas. My gas gauge isn't working. I'm thinking that's the cinder in the tank. I checked the gauge this morning and it works. So I'm gonna have to pull the motor back out, pull the tank out, change the cinder out, because people want to know how much gas they got. So I have to pick one of those up. Little stuff, you know, that you find when you start driving them. Probably drive it for a couple months, maybe make a couple road trips where I cut it loose, you know, that way I know it's nice and sound. A couple cyclists here. A lot of bikers use this road. Not bikers, but bicyclists. One of those newfangled bikes. This guy's moving it down the road. Hopefully he sees those guys. Bridge here. This is sort of a cool road. This is the old Highway 11. It leads over to Highway 40. 40 cuts over to Ocala and Gainesville and the interstate, Highway 75. So you can take up to 10 and 26 and stuff. Goes up the middle of the state. 95 is more of a coastal route, and 75 is more in the middle of the state. This is Florida at its finest here. We're in the middle of the woods. There's a couple trails out here you can hit. Some cows. But there's an old Florida pioneer settlement up here. If you're into that kind of stuff, you can go check that out. That's this road in I think it's one to call this Old Pioneers Road now, and Highway 40. There's a pretty cool little place there. They have a hit and miss event there with the hit and miss motors and the old stuff. They do a blacksmith class there once a year. lot of cool stuff right around my house. You got the Ocala National Forest, which there's a lot of camping areas, and then when you get up into North Florida, you got the Swanee River. There's all kinds of parks and stuff, and canoeing and stuff, hiking you can do up there too. Some real pretty country out here, real undisturbed. I don't know how bad that noise is from the wind. This camera doesn't seem to have a wind issue. But yeah, we'll run this down to Highway 40 and I'll run Highway 17 back into town, and that'll give us a couple miles on it. Trying to get a couple 100 miles on there and see, you know, what shakes out. It's the best thing to do. These are little, see the markers along the side of the road, little campsites you can hit, little trails, stuff like that. There's a area you can park right up here, hike into the wilderness of Florida if you like. So, pretty cool. I don't do much hiking anymore. I used to do a lot more when I was in better shape, but not really in good physical condition to get out in the middle of nowhere right now. But I can drive out in the middle of nowhere. There you go, Fawn Road. See some good wildlife and stuff. Maybe we'll come out one night and get some deer shots and stuff. Down the road, 55, 60. Seems to go down the road pretty nice. Need to work on the rear suspension a little bit. It needs to be, the rear torsion needs to be re-snapped. But I'm going to lower the front first, buy some spindles for up there and see what that does. It'll take some weight off the back of the bus. Shift it towards the front. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. I got a car coming up behind.